Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Slimming Surgeon podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Kandace Kichler. Today, I have a little treat for you. It is a solo episode. So no guest, no random questions with random answers. It's just me talking. And I thought since we are well into 2024, I would just kind of recap what I think are going to be the in trends and the out trends for 2024. So bear with me as we go through my list. I'm planning to give you 5 things that I find that are in or that are wins or things that we should be doing, and 5 things that are completely out. Some of them are funny. Most of them are mostly serious. But I just wanted to chat with you all because I feel like so many of my episodes are just me kind of quizzing the guest, and you don't hear a lot from just me, myself, and I. So here we go. Number 1 on my in list in 2024 is nice queen energy. So we have lived through the days of Mean Girls. Yes, it was one of my favorite movies and to this day cracks me up and I love it, but we need to be nice to each other, especially women to other women. I have been attending, many different conferences and gatherings that are specifically targeted at and promoting women. And it's wild to me, the number of people there who are actually not there to support other women. They're maybe there for a little bit of self-promotion, which is okay sometimes. But, if you are really a nice girl or a nice woman, you should be uplifting others, supporting others, congratulating others, and giving them tips, advice, mentorship, whatever it may be that you have to offer to other people who maybe aren't quite to the level of success that you're at. So, nice queen energy is in 2024. The next in for 2024 that I find so few people do is the follow through. So whether you are in business, in medicine, whether you're a stay-at-home mom and you're just arranging play dates, follow through with people. If you say you're going to do something, do it. If you say you're going to help someone out with, task A, B, or C, make sure you do it. Or alternatively, if you feel as though you've overcommitted, follow through and tell that person. I hate that awkward situation where you talk to someone, you guys both get hyped up about a scenario like, oh my gosh, yes, I can't wait. Let's collab. Let's do this. And then it just falls away. That's so awkward when you see that person again, because it's like, oh yeah, I meant to do that. Sorry, I got so busy. Just send a quick text hey, I'm too busy. Or hey, you know what? It slipped my mind for a minute, but let's get this on the books. I feel like the follow through is so important, and it's not just reinforcing the relationship and your commitment to that responsibility or to that person, but it's also giving you new opportunities that you may be missing out on, because that follow through may, remind them of something else or some other connection that can be made in your life. So in 24, number 2 on my list is the follow through. And I did also, if you haven't yet listened to my podcast on nailing an interview, the follow through is key with nailing interviews and getting deals and signing things that you need to get signed and getting jobs that you want to get. So if you haven't listened to that episode, go back. I don't know, it's probably 5 or 10 episodes back. And that's a really good quick listen. All right, number 3 in the list of ins for 2024, I have feel good workouts. So if you know me personally, then I've gone on this journey with my exercise routine. I dated a bodybuilder at one point in my life. I worked at a gym. I've done everything except I haven't done CrossFit. I will say I have not tried CrossFit, but I've done pretty much every other type of workout, method of workout, I've spent 2 hours in the gym. I've spent 2 minutes in the gym. And to me right now, a feel-good workout, something that is functional, is so key to longevity, happiness, and feeling good. So lately I've been really into tennis. It's fun because it's something that me, my husband, and my sons can play. It's great for doing with other women as well. And I live in Florida, so it's like easy. It's fun. It's nice and sunny outside, but not too hot just yet because we're not in the summer. But what I love is that it's a little bit of cardio. It's, some hand-eye coordination. You're moving around, you're sweating, you're really like taking deep breaths. It's just a whole different functional level of exercise versus going to the gym and just lifting weights, which I still love to do as well. But mixing in those feel-good workouts once or twice a week has been such a game changer. And I'm sore from them. Like I'm literally sore. I played an hour and a half of tennis on Saturday and I'm sore in places that I forgot I could be sore in because I was so used to kind of doing the same thing. The other thing, somebody's looking in the window. The other thing that I am loving that's kind of like a feel-good workout is walking. So I've been loving doing some power walking on the treadmill. It's nice to just go and be kind of doing this steady state workout with a little bit of change up. Like I'll change the incline, I'll change the speed, as the song or my mood fits, or I'll sometimes even do like a treadmill walking class. But that, repetition, but staying in the same place is kind of nice where you can not focus on the workout, but still get a workout done. And it's functional because walking is like critical to our life and our longevity. So I've been loving doing that, maybe 10 or 15, even 20 minutes before I do some weight training in the gym. I can listen to a quick podcast. I can zone out and completely just clear my mind, listen to music or listen to nothing at all. And I've really, truly enjoyed that as well. So number 3 on the in list for 2024 are your feel good workouts. Start incorporating them today. Number 4 for the in list of 2024. This one's going to be kind of funny because I'm going to tell you a little story. But number 4 for in things in 2024 is a little bit of spontaneity and intuitive decision making. So listening to your intuition and being a little spontaneous. So I do crazy stuff from time to time, but my favorite story that I've been meaning to tell on the podcast is about my wedding dress. So I was a resident, general surgery. I'm sitting in the crib, which is what we called it, like the lounge where the residents hang out. We called it the crib. I was sitting in the crib one day and Lucy, my really good friend, which if you know me personally, you definitely know Lucy. But Lucy was browsing the internet and she had a friend that she went to high school with, Jorge. And she said, Candy, Jorge is having a sample sale. You need to go there. Look at this dress. This is for you. It is made for you. That's how she talks sometimes when she's hyped up, especially. And I was like, Lucy, I'm not engaged, but like, yeah, that dress is gorge. Obsessed, love, slay. I didn't say slay at the time because it wasn't cool, but I was like, yes, that is really beautiful. And I was like, you know what? Like I am with the guy that I know I'm going to marry. It's going to be relatively soon. Let me just go try on that dress. So on my weekend off from general surgery residency, which if you know, you work like 80 hours a week, I drove down to Miami. I show up to this gorgeous bridal boutique in like the heart of Miami, surrounded by like glitter, glam, fame, and all these amazing things. And I'm like trying on wedding dresses, not engaged, not a ring on my finger, did not tell Nick, my current husband or my husband, that I was doing this. And I think I even went solo. Like, I don't even think I took anyone with me. So I tried on all these dresses, drank some champagne, and the dress that Lucy had showed me online that was part of the sample sale that she said was special for me, fit me like a glove to a T, did not need to be altered, ready to go right off the hanger, and it was on sale. So I bought it. I literally went home, figured out the finances, which I'll have a whole finance podcast about what to not to do with your life later. Figured out the finances, how to get the money, and bought my wedding dress. Not an engaged woman, not planning to get married any, specifically soon time. And it honestly worked out amazing. It fit me perfectly. I went back later with my sister and my best friend to pick up the dress. And that was like our little moment of like the dress trying on situation. But it was just so special to me because I felt like it was meant to happen that way. It was an intuitive decision where it was like, this came to me, like God sent this to me. My friends sent this to me. Like this was meant to be my wedding dress, no matter how it came about, even though I didn't even have a ring on my finger. So love that story. And I just kind of channel that with a lot of things that I do in my life. And it sounds crazy, but I think when you know, when you know that something is meant to happen, when changes are meant to take place, if you follow your gut, and if it feels right, you will end up where you're supposed to end up. I'm sitting here in this podcast studio for a reason, talking to you for a reason. And I think we all should be better about listening to our gut and not making decisions based on what other people think or what is supposed to be the normal way to go about things. And life will be just so much more exciting that way. So that's what's in 2024, spontaneity or intuition-based decisions. I'm in it. Let's do it. Make it happen. And then number 5, which kind of seems like it might not flow with the intuitive decision-making, but number 5 in my in list for 2024 is really kind of like spirituality, but more so religion and or however you want to package that up. But I have just felt really called to kind of go back to the center and the core of everything, and that's God. Like right now I'm starting 21 days of prayer and fasting with my church. I just feel like I need to be thankful, be grateful, acknowledge where I came from, acknowledge what I want my children to grow up around, and keep that as the center of my life. So for the next 21 days, which I grew up Catholic, so typically it would be doing like a Lent type situation. I am doing similar to Lent. I am giving up certain things. I am incorporating certain things every day. And my main thing during this next 21 days is to pray every day, but also to keep positive words in my mouth and to speak positively and happy and to try not to say negative things about others, because that is not the way that God intended us to be. So that is my in list. Those are the top 5 things. We have nice queen energy, the follow through, feel good workouts, intuitive decision-making, and a little bit of religion to go top it off. So those are my top ins for 2024. 2024, we also need to get out some things. We need to get rid of the bad. We need to have a list of things that we're just over. Okay. And at the top of my list, if you have been following me on Instagram, you know that I recently gave up my Stanley. So number 1 are Stanleys. I really never bought into the hype. Like I had a Stanley cup because I got one like through a charity event and I liked it and I used it, but it leaks. Okay. It leaks. It grows mold. Apparently there are all these videos showing that they have lead in them. I doubt the lead actually seeps into your water, but who knows? Who knows? I am not a chemist. I'm not a biologist. I'm not a water filtration expert, but I know that I don't really want lead by something I'm ingesting, and I don't want something that's going to leak all over my car. So Stanleys are out for me. They are just out. Throw it away, sell it on Poshmark, whatever you want to do. If you want my pink one, DM me. I'll literally send it to you. But the reason why this came about is one day I was driving, and if you have a Stanley, they don't like quite fit in the cup holder right. Like I know my car's weird and it doesn't always fit the right cups anyways, but the Stanley is just so massive that you can't fit something next to it. So I'm like driving, I've got a coffee cup, which should have been covered. It wasn't. Whatever, my bad, no big deal. So the coffee cup's in the cup holder, the Stanley's in the passenger seat. I should have just seat belted it, but I didn't. I typically just held it with my hand if I was making a turn. And so going on 95 one day, the Stanley flies, the coffee flies. I've got coffee all over everything, including all in the cup holder situation. And it was just a mess. And I was like, what is the root of all this evil? And it was the Stanley. So the Stanley's out. I've got a new cup. I've got the Simple Modern or whatever you want to call it. Got it on Amazon. Love it. It's more aesthetically pleasing. It's lighter. It does not have lead that I'm aware of. And that's the tea. That is the coffee. That is what's out for 2024. It's the Stanley, number one on the list. Number two, I'm going to get a little bit deeper with the outs for now. Number two on the out list for 2024 is what I would just term inflexibility. If you are a person who is very much so my way or the highway, you should stop. Like, just stop doing that. It's rude. It's condescending. It's not nice. And you should give people grace. You should open your mind to other options. Not everything is black and white. Not everything is set in stone. Even science. I mean, look at COVID, what a disaster, but not everything is black and white. So to have the nature of being so black and white, so my way or the highway, so inflexible with other people, it's just not nice. It's not being a good person. And I think that is out for 2024. Like, just, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. That's my prerogative. So that's number two, inflexibility. Number three, kind of, and the next two, 3, and 4 for my out list of 2024 are kind of along the same lines, but they needed to be echoed. So number 3 on the list are zero-sum humans. So, and I know that sounds funny, but people who think that just because you do well or someone else does well, someone else cannot also do well. So, rewind. I used to own a med spa, and I was always worried a little bit or thought a lot about the competition. Well, they're doing this and they're doing that and they're charging this and they're charging that. But guess what? There are a lot of humans in this world. There are a lot of people in this world who are going to need and want your services, your friendship, money. There are a lot of resources to go around. And just because you do really well at something doesn't mean someone else is going to suffer. And just because someone else does really well at something doesn't mean that you're going to suffer. That is very limited thinking. And if that's the way that you think, you will live a limited life. So for me, I have really kind of abolished most of that thinking to where if someone else is doing well, even if it's the exact same thing that I do in the exact same group of people that I work with, in the exact line of work or whatever it may be, I am happy for them. Good, great, amazing. Do you, queen or king? Like, it's a good thing. Like, work together, collaborate. And if the person doesn't want to, that's okay too. You know what? Move on, do yourself, find your niche and live it, own it, be it. You don't need to have that zero-sum mentality. So that is out in 2024. We are not functioning like that, people. Out. All right. And then on the last aspect of that, number 4 on the list of things that are out in 2024 are frauds who gaslight. So I don't want to call anybody out, and I'm not going to call anybody out because that would be crazy. But I feel like I have heard from so many people about situations where they've been and where they've maybe been misled or promised one thing or, given hope that some type of situation would happen, whether it be in their work or in their relationship. And it just wasn't true. Like, the person that made the promises intentionally lied about that. That's being a fraud. That's not being nice. That's being a phony. And you shouldn't be that type of human. And I'm like telling people how to be, but we want to be good people. We want to be positive. We want to be mentors. We want to be inspiring to others. And we want to have others look up to us. And if you are lying, cheating, stealing, all of these things that we don't typically think we would do, it can sneak into your life and you need to just get it out now. Don't give in to those tendencies. Don't give in to that temptation to take a little money from this person this way, or to steal the deal from that person, or to make the secret collab with so-and-so, even though you know it would hurt so-and-so's feelings. Like, be an honest, hardworking, nice person, and good things are going to happen for you without being fraudulent, without gaslighting. So gaslighting, hate the term. I think actually the term is out also. But also to the same extent, don't lie to people. Don't tell people one thing, but then act a different way. It's just not right. And we got to move on past that. So moving along to my final list, or my final bullet for the list of outs in 2024. What is out is discounting / underpaying / over tipping. We live in this crazy world where a set price is like never the price. Like, it's like, okay, for example, I'm here in this podcast studio. You want to buy a membership, it's this amount, but let's discount this if you do that. People want to barter all the time for their services, which can be okay if you're actually giving equal value for what the price that is set is. But trying to sneak a deal, trying to get someone to discount something, I just think is a little rude. It's a little disrespectful, because whomever is setting this price, set that price based on maybe their expertise, maybe the cost to them, based on not only the cost of goods, but the cost of their time and the cost of doing business. There's a reason why that price was set the way it was. There's a reason why, they are charging what they're charging. And sometimes you get what you pay for. This is not about me, my surgical prices, because I know people are going to go off and say that, but this is more so about like literally everyday things that we're doing. I feel like we in a society tend to want to discount for literally every single thing, but guess what? Someone behind that price tag needs to feed their family. Get over it. If you can afford it, buy it. If you can't, move on and buy it another day. That's how I'm trying to look at things, because I, as someone who earns money for a living, I respect that. And if this is the price, this is the price. So with that being said, don't try to underpay someone just like for no reason, literally. But also don't expect someone to tip you for mediocre service. Like, we also live in this crazy situation where it's like, oh, you got a coffee from the gas station. What's the tip? Like, there should be no tip for that. I made the coffee myself. I walked in, I walked out. Like, no tip needed, not indicated. That is routine. Even if someone else poured it for me. So I'm not into over tipping. Now, if I'm at a restaurant, I've got a waitress, they're bringing the food, they're cleaning the table, they're attending to my meal. Of course, you deserve a tip. You deserve 20% or more. That's not what I'm saying with that. I'm just saying over tipping for mediocre service. Let's say someone who's working at a place where you just pick up your food to go, who doesn't even make eye contact or speak to you and just tells you the price. Tip not deserved. Sorry. Bye, Felicia. So that rounds out my list of outs for 2025. Stanley's, inflexibility, zero-sum humans, frauds, and discounts or over tipping. So I don't want to end this on a negative out note. I think more so, I just want us to realize that we are who we want to be. If you have something that you want to accomplish, start by just having good intentions. Start by being a good person. Start by smiling at people. Start by being grateful for everything that you already have, and good things will come to you. If you are a religious person like myself, pray about it. If you're not yet, find a way to become, more closer to God. I can help you if you'd like. But start your day on a positive note. As things come your way, as they will, dodge the bullets, move forward, keep a positive attitude. Yes, we're going to have bad days, but we move beyond them because we are nice queens. Thanks, guys, for listening. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. Leave me a review if you haven't already. I'm obsessed with your 5-star reviews because that's basically all I have. Amen. Preach. Love it. Send me a DM if you have any questions or if you need any advice based off of anything that I talked about. If you need a link for a new cup because your Stanley needs to be thrown away, DM me. I will get it to you stat. And I can't wait to come back more. We are going to have a lot of an amazing, fun guest in the next couple of months. I'm rounding out that calendar. So I appreciate you coming back here and consuming my content. I love when you guys let me know that you heard this or that on the podcast, because it really reinforces what I'm doing. And I love talking to you all. So leave me a 5-star review. Make sure you've subscribed. Send me a DM on Instagram, and I will catch you next time. Bye, y'all.